The Witcher 3 just came back from the dead. And no, I am not talking about another next-gen update. I'm not talking about better grass, shinier puddles, or Geralt's beard getting one extra strand of emotional detail. I mean a real expansion. CD Projekt has officially announced a brand new expansion for The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. It is called Songs of the Past. It is coming in 2027. And yes, Geralt is back. That sentence sounds fake. The Witcher 3 came out in 2015. That is over a decade ago. Most games from 2015 are either completely forgotten, trapped in people's Steam libraries, or being kept alive by 7 modders and one guy on Reddit saying, actually, this game was underrated. But The Witcher 3? Apparently, it just woke up, looked at the gaming industry, grabbed 2 swords, and said, fine, one more contract. And honestly, I do not know whether to be excited, scared, or worried that CD Projekt has just dragged Geralt out of retirement like a fantasy version of John Wick. Because this is not a small announcement. This is not just new armor set available now. This is a third expansion for one of the greatest RPGs ever made, and that is exactly why this is exciting, but also extremely risky, because The Witcher 3 did not just end. It ended properly, especially with blood and wine. Geralt got his vineyard, he got peace, he got sunshine, he got wine. The man finally escaped mud, monsters, cursed villages, political drama, and peasants offering him 12 coins to solve a supernatural murder mystery. He earned that ending. So when CD Projekt says Geralt is coming back, the question is not just, are we hype? Of course people are hyped. The real question is, why now? Why bring back The Witcher 3 after all this time? Is this a love letter to fans? Is this a warm-up for The Witcher 4? Or is this CD Projekt pressing the emergency nostalgia button because they know Geralt still prints money? That is what we need to talk about. And trust me, this announcement is bigger than it looks. So here is what we actually know. The new expansion is called Songs of the Past. It is coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC in 2027. Geralt of Rivia is returning as the main character, and CD Projekt is co-developing it with Fool's Theory, a studio that includes people who worked on The Witcher 3 before. That last part matters, because you cannot just give The Witcher 3 to any random studio and say, here you go, please do not ruin one of the most loved RPGs of all time. That is like handing someone a priceless sword and saying, try not to butter toast with it. The Witcher 3 is not loved just because it has monsters. It is loved because of the feeling, the atmosphere, the writing, the dirty villages, the depressing side quest, the choices where every answer feels wrong. You start a basic monster contract thinking, okay, I'll kill a beast, take the reward, easy. Then 40 minutes later, you are investigating a dead husband, arguing with a cursed spirit, questioning the morality of village politics, and somehow feeling guilty for doing your job. That is The Witcher. It makes you feel like a detective, therapist, executioner, and professional problem cleaner all at the same time. And Geralt is just standing there like, I wanted coin. Why am I now involved in generational trauma? That is the magic this expansion has to bring back. Not just swords, not just monsters, not just a big map. It needs that dirty, sad, funny, morally confusing Witcher feeling. Because The Witcher 3's previous expansions were not normal DLC. They were ridiculous. Hearts of Stone gave us Gaunter O'Dim, one of the most terrifying villains in gaming. And the scary thing about him was not that he looked like a giant demon. He did not need that. He was calm, polite, patient. The man could destroy your soul while speaking like he was offering customer service. That is villain design. Then Blood and Wine came along and basically said, what if we made an expansion so big and polished that it embarrasses full-price game? Toussaint was gorgeous. The colors, the castles, the vampires, the wine, the sunshine. It felt like Geralt had gone on holiday. A holiday where people still died horribly, obviously, because this is The Witcher. But still, it felt different. And most importantly, Blood and Wine felt like goodbye. A real goodbye, not a lazy one, not a rushed one. A proper, emotional closing chapter for Geralt. So now, Songs of the Past has a massive problem. It is not competing with average DLC. It is competing with legendary DLC. That is a nightmare. Because if this expansion is only good, people will say it is disappointing. If it is great, people will compare it to Blood and Wine. And if it is amazing, people will immediately ask, okay, so where is The Witcher 4 then? Basically, CD Projekt has chosen the hardest possible homework. Revive one of the best RPGs ever made. Bring back one of gaming's most iconic characters. Respect the ending fans already love. And somehow make the whole thing feel necessary. No pressure. Just casually perform open heart surgery on a masterpiece. Now, the title is interesting. Songs of the Past. That does not sound random. That sounds personal. That sounds nostalgic. That sounds like CD Projekt wants us thinking about memory, old mistakes, unfinished business, maybe even something from Geralt's earlier life. And because this is The Witcher Past, past usually means somebody did something terrible 70 years ago, covered it up, and now there is a screaming creature in a swamp because nobody in this universe knows how to communicate like normal adult. But the title also makes me think this expansion could be more than just extra content. It could be a bridge between The Witcher 3 and whatever comes next, because let's be honest, everyone is waiting for The Witcher 4. CD Projekt knows it. Fans know it. Even people who have never played The Witcher know it, because every gaming event has someone in chat typing, "Where Witcher 4?" But big RPGs take time, and after Cyberpunk 2077's launch, CD Projekt cannot afford another messy release. They cannot afford another situation where the game launches broken and then everyone says, "Do not worry, it will be amazing in 3 years." That trick only works once, maybe twice if the apology trailer has good music. So CD Projekt needs The Witcher 4 to land properly. Clean launch, strong reviews, no chaos, no broken promises, no NPCs walking through furniture like ghosts in a student accommodation kitchen. And while they are working on that, Songs of the Past keeps The Witcher alive. It brings old players back, it gets new players interested, it gives YouTubers something to talk about, it gives fans something to theorize over, and it reminds everyone why this universe mattered in the first place. That is smart, but it is also very obvious. This is not just fan service, this is strategy. And there is nothing wrong with strategy as long as the final product is actually good. That is the key, because nostalgia is powerful, but nostalgia is also dangerous. Fans can smell lazy nostalgia from miles away. You cannot just put Geralt on screen, play emotional music, show a monster in the fog, and expect everyone to start crying into their Gwent card. Well, some people will, but not everyone. This expansion needs a proper reason to exist. It needs a story that makes us say, okay, this is why Geralt had to come back, because that is my biggest concern. Geralt already had peace. Blood and wine gave him that. So if Songs of the Past drags him back just because CD Projekt knows people love him, it could feel cheap. But if the story is personal enough, if it connects to something unresolved, if it gives Geralt one final thing he actually needs to face, then it could work. That is the difference between nostalgia bait and a real return. One feels like business, the other feels like story. And The Witcher has always been strongest when the story hurts a little. Now, some people are already going to say, why are they making this instead of The Witcher 4? And honestly, fair question. But I do not think this automatically means bad news. It might actually help. This expansion could let CD Projekt rebuild Witcher hype without putting the entire future of the franchise on one game. It could let them test ideas, reconnect with fans, remind people what they loved, and maybe, just maybe, set up themes or story threads for the next era. But there is also the more suspicious side. This could mean The Witcher 4 is further away than fans hope. And if that is true, then Songs of the Past becomes a very convenient gap filler. A very exciting gap filler. Yeah, but still a gap filler. And that is why I am half hyped and half suspicious. Because when a studio brings back a game this legendary after more than 10 years, it is never just because someone in a meeting said, "Wouldn't that be cute?" No, there is always a bigger reason. Money, timing, brand repair, fan confidence. The Witcher 4 hype, probably all of it. And to be fair, CD Projekt does need trust. Cyberpunk 2077 is much better now. Phantom Liberty helped a lot, but gamers remember launch disasters like family trauma. You can fix the game, improve it, add expansions, win awards, and there will still be someone in the comments saying, "Yeah, but remember day one?" And honestly, they are not wrong. So going back to The Witcher 3 is safe. It is familiar ground. It is the game that made people say CD Projekt was one of the best RPG studios in the world. This is them saying, remember this? Remember when we cooked? And the answer is yes, we remember. That is exactly why expectations are so high. Personally, I want this to be amazing. I want to go back to that world and feel lost again. I want to walk into a village and immediately know every single person there is lying. I want contracts that start simple and then become emotionally illegal. I want monsters that are not just monsters. I want choices where there is no perfect answer. I want that classic Witcher feeling where you save someone and somehow still feel depressed afterward, because that is what made The Witcher 3 special. Not just the combat, not just the map, not just the music. It was the way the world felt alive, broken, funny, cruel, and beautiful all at once. Every quest had dirt under its fingernails. Every character felt like they had survived something. Even the jokes had sadness hiding behind them. That is what Songs of the Past needs to bring back. Not just Geralt, not just a sword, not just a monster in a forest. The feeling. Because if CD Projekt gets that right, this could be one of the coolest RPG surprises in years. But if they get it wrong, it could damage one of the safest legacies they have. And that is the scary part. You do not mess with The Witcher 3 unless you are confident. You do not bring Geralt back unless you have something worth saying. and you definitely do not follow Blood and Wine with something average. So right now, I am cautiously hyped. Not blind hype, not take my money immediately hype. More like, okay, CD Projekt, you have my attention. Please do not emotionally rob me, because this could be special. It could be a beautiful final return. It could be a bridge to the future, or it could be a very expensive reminder that sometimes legends should be left alone. And that is why this announcement is so interesting. The Witcher 3 is back. Geralt is back. Songs of the Past is real. And somehow, a game from 2015 just became one of the biggest gaming stories of 2026. Now I want to know what you think. Are you actually excited to return to The Witcher 3? Or should CD Projekt have left Geralt alone after Blood and Wine? Drop it in the comments, because I feel like Witcher fans are going to be seriously split on this one. And if you like gaming breakdowns that do not just read headlines like a bored news robot, subscribe to the channel. Because when CD Projekt reveals more about Songs of the Past, we are absolutely going back into the swamp, unfortunately. Because knowing The Witcher, someone's goat is missing, the village elder is lying, and Geralt is about to uncover a curse that started because one man in 1247 refused to mind his own business.